Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be my May favorites. I feel like I just did my April favorites recently because I did it pretty far into the month of May, but I still have a lot of products to talk to you about, from beauty, skincare, around the home, my night routine, some books, some brushes. We have a lot to cover in today's video, and before we jump into it, I do want to say there's a sponsor on today's video, and this video is sponsored by Amiro. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about one of their at-home facial devices, and I have a lot to say on this product and why I'm trying to incorporate it more into my night routine and what that is looking like for me right now. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, welcome. So I do start my videos with an outfit of the day. So today I just have on some black pants, still my slippers, and this halter turtleneck top situation thing going on from Amazon. I will link all of my makeup down below. I did a Sephora haul recently and I shared that I purchased the new Natasha Denona Yucca palette, so I'm doing some different looks for a 3 looks video that I will have coming up for this. But again, I will link all of my makeup down below. And like I said, I did my April favorites kind of really far into the month of May. But I still wanted to follow up and do my May favorites because I have some products in here that I'm excited to talk about. Like, I've been trying to work on my hair care a little bit more, so I have like a hair routine that I wanted to share with some products I'm using, some makeup products. I have a fragrance that I've really been loving, a sunscreen, 2 sunscreens, 2 SPFs are going to be featured in this video. Like I said, I'm getting to partner with Amiro Beauty on this, and what I'm going to be talking about, what I've been using at home, especially in my night routine, is their 4-in-1 RF facial tightening device. So I was curious to try this out because I see so many other influencers that I love to follow doing something like this in their beauty routines. I see like the red, you know, infrared masks that so many people love, like that whole face mask that they put on top of their face. I see other people using little more like handheld tools like this that have something like a red light therapy in there. So when they reached out and asked if I wanted to try out their product, I was very curious to say yes. So let me tell you a little bit about this first, and then I'll jump into how I use it into my night routine. So again, this is the Amiro R1 Pro Facial RF Skin Tightening Device. And when I was looking on the website, I thought it was interesting because they described it as kind of like a face workout, like yoga for the face, things along those lines. And I was like, okay, because I do a little bit of that already at home. You know, I use like an ice roller at home. I do my own lymphatic drainage, either with a gua sha or like just with my fingers, and I work on that way because I do deal with a lot of inflammation, which can lead to like puffiness in the face and that sort of thing, water retention. So that's something that I try to work on. So when I read that that was kind of like a key feature with their RF device, I was like, so let me go ahead and try this out and see what I think. So to talk a little bit more about it, like I said, it's a 4-in-1 skincare solution. So we have the 6-pole radio frequency, which is the RF. When I say RF, that is radio frequency. So this can diminish the look of smile lines and also the fine lines because it's stimulating the collagen production, which is what we can kind of lose over time and as we get older. So we want to do more that can kind of build up that collagen production. There's also a gentle microcurrent therapy, and this is going to help by lifting and firming the skin. So this can especially help in the morning with like that bloating or like puffiness to the face. Also the red infrared light. This is something that I was particularly intrigued to try because it's things that I've tried to use at home, or if I get facials, I typically recommend to add on the infrared light also. So this can help revitalize even that skin's like deepest layer and also enhance skin elasticity. And then we have the red LED light. Again, this is something that I request in facials if it's possible as well. This can help with skin brightening and improving the skin microcirculation. And I've also personally found that can help with acne. When I was really invested in my acne and skincare journey, red light therapy was something that was recommended to me quite a bit. Another reason that I wanted to start incorporating something like this into my night routine is because I'm no longer doing microneedling. So I have like a vlog that I put on this channel of doing my first microneedling appointment, and I was talking about that. And I still do like the microneedling, and it's something that I would still like to be able to pick up in the future. But because of where I live, we have really intense summers, a lot of heat, a lot of sun. Something like microneedling, you kind of want to avoid the sun, and there gets to be a point in time in Las Vegas where it's really, really hard to do that. So the esthetician that I was working with really likes to focus on doing the microneedling when we kind of have our colder months or the sun isn't quite as intense as it can be in 120-degree heat. So I have actually stopped my microneedling appointments for now, and I wanted to still include something in my skincare routine that I felt like was giving me a little bit of an oomph. Again, in my microneedling appointments, she does also put the red light therapy on me. So I am also able to have that when I would do both microneedling and also when I was doing hydrofacials on the regular. So again, that was kind of something that I was like, I'm stopping one thing, but I do want to start another. Just to be candid, I have never done anything like Botox or fillers. Not saying I never will, just at this point I have not, and I prefer to go a more natural route, or if there's something that I can do at home, again, like the lymphatic drainage just with my fingers, anything along those lines, that's just something that I'm a little bit more comfortable with, and you can kind of make a whole night routine out of it. So kind of what my night routine has been looking like is like making myself dinner. I usually listen to a podcast and just hang out for a bit with like my legs up the wall to help with digestion. Then I'm coming in to do like a face mask. I have a face mask that I'll talk about. I like to do the Amiro, which is kind of like relaxing, a hair mask, and it's like a whole thing. Like, of course I don't do it every night. I aim for like once a week, but to really have those fun kind of self-care reset nights is something that I've started to really look forward to, especially with everything that's kind of happening in my life right now with my dog. I'm not leaving as much. I just prefer not to be gone for a very long period of time. So I've been really embracing the at-home self-care nights too with Aries. I put on the gel that they sent me. So this is what you can get on the website too. It's their hydrating moisturizing serum gel. I just put a little right on here and then run it on the face. So you can kind of see, like, I usually lift up, and then I start on the cheeks this way, and I also really focus on like the contours of my like chin jawline area, and then the same kind of motions with the forehead. I do have a discount code with them, which is just Samantha, and it gets you $20 off. They are also running a pretty big summer sale. I believe it ends the 15th, and they have up to 29% off already on the website. And again, it's a non-affiliate code, and that is just Samantha. I use this in the morning, which is when the firming and lifting is going to be kind of the best fit. I personally, like I said, I like to incorporate this into my night routine. My skincare routine in the morning is kind of pretty much set every single time. I like to do the ice roller, things like that. The night routine, I feel like using a device like this makes it feel a little bit more like spa-like on my end, so that's when I typically use it. So I am usually doing that wrinkle fading and the anti-aging radio frequency. You can choose power levels 1 through 5. To be honest, I just keep mine at 5. When I first started and I did 1, I actually felt like, I was like, I'm not sure if this is charged, I'm not sure if anything is working. But once I got it up to 5, I feel like it kind of gets a little bit warmer right away, which I like. So one thing about this was when you are using it, you do start to feel a warming sensation on the skin. That's really all I feel. I don't feel like pulsing. I don't feel, there's no pain with it or anything like that. It never gets too hot as well. And it just kind of is this relaxing sensation. A lot of times I like to just lay in bed and just do it on the bed and kind of relax, especially once you get up like near the temples. It just feels really nice. So I enjoy it, and kind of has that more spa-like quality to it. And then it will also vibrate. So if you start, start on your right cheek, it will vibrate. I want to say it's like after 3 minutes it vibrates, and then you go to the next cheek, and then you go to the forehead, so you kind of know how long to do on each section. So that's something that I think is really cool and kind of gives you that reminder to pick it up and go over to the next spot. But it has been something super easy to incorporate into my routine, and it's just something that I feel like kind of elevates my night routine and my self-care routine and all of that. And I've been really enjoying it. I'm glad that I have this so I can kind of keep up with any results that I saw from microneedling. Super easy to use. You can see that it's handheld. You can charge it if you need to plug it in, but it's really easy to use, and I've been enjoying it. So again, I will have them linked down below. My discount code with them is Samantha, or you can check out their summer sale. They have a few other products as well. And they also have the serum gel available on their website. But a big thank you to Amiro Beauty for working with me on this video. I hope that you found this helpful. I want to share a little bit more about my night routine and some of my favorites that I'm incorporating. So let's jump into my face mask that I use. So my face mask that I have been loving is not new. I've talked about this product for years. I've recommended it for years. I've repurchased it myself. but it's from Farmacy. It's their honey potion. This is their renewing antioxidant hydrating mask. So this is a mask that when you put it on, it gets a little bit warming on the skin. I don't know why. I mean, I already live in a warm enough climate, and I'm like, what else can make me more warm? From the facial device to this. But I also really like the way that it smells, but this is something that I've been doing every week. Like, I take my makeup off at night, I do a face mask, I sit and chill, again, either listen to a podcast, legs up the wall, try to work on meditation. It's not something I'm the best at, or just read a book. And then when I wash it off before I put on my night serum, that is when I come in with the Amiro. And then once you're done with the Amiro, since you've put on the gel serum, I just wash my face. Like, I just use plain water and rinse off that, and then I come in with my night serums and then my moisturizer. But the Farmacy honey potion mask, been using it for years, still continue to love it and want to recommend it. And like I said, I've also been doing a hair mask at night. So I recently took out my hair extensions. I had hair extensions for about 2 years because I lost a lot of hair during my fertility treatments and like stress of divorce and moving and all of that. I lost a lot of hair. I decided to put in hair extensions. I took them out a couple months ago, and I really want to focus on healing my hair as well. We're in like a full healing era journey, but I want to focus on, you know, regrowing my hair and making it strong and all of those things. So I thought it would be fun to, again, as I kind of try to get a good night routine down, is to also do something for my hair. So I bought this little set from Fable in Maine, and I just bought this at Sephora. But one product is the Holly Roots hair oil. I purchased this a while back as well. Like, I had this in Iowa and I was using it, and then I just kind of stopped using it on a real consistent basis, decided to get hair extensions, and then kind of left it alone. But I picked it back up again because I wanted to try it out, and I hear a lot of people say great things about Fable in Maine. It's why I purchased it all of those years ago. But for the hair oil, I first put this like really like close to the roots. And so I just kind of, I should have done a video. Oh no, I think I did do a video. It's probably on TikTok or shorts. I'm sure I'll post it on YouTube as well. But I just get really close and kind of zhuzh like this in the hair, and then I take my scalp massager that I have and I just really massage it into my scalp, and then I come in with the hair mask. And I just purchased this in like a little set, so they're a little bit smaller. This is their Holly Roots hair mask for, it says rich repair for stressed hair. So I have like, I think I can probably do maybe like 3 more uses out of this, which I don't think is bad. And then I just put this all over the rest of my hair, and then I tie my hair up, and then I put like a little turban around it, and I actually sleep with that overnight. So I was really trying to find, I have like a few other hair masks, but nothing that, when I looked it up, a lot of them said like don't use overnight. And I don't know why I have this fear of like using the wrong thing overnight and waking up and like all my hair fell out. I don't know. But this one, I saw people saying that they can use it overnight. The oil says you can use it overnight also. Like, I think it says it right on here. Leave on for at least 5 minutes or overnight for best results. So I just tie my hair up in like a little turban type thing, and I sleep on it, and then I rinse it out the next morning and wash my hair. This makes my hair feel so soft. Like, the first time I did it and I was in the shower the next morning washing my hair, I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? So that made me really excited to, again, keep it on a like consistent weekly schedule to be able to do. It doesn't take me very long. It's just a few extra minutes. It doesn't bother me to sleep with like my hair in the towel or anything like that. And I want to keep using these to see if we can help the hair. And I also do have, at the time that I'm filming, I have a hair appointment next week at like a Japanese hair salon where they do like hair steaming and massage and aromatherapy and like all these different things. But I'm really trying, I'm really committed to healing my hair, but that is another thing that I've incorporated into my night routine. All right, I have a couple of different sunscreens that I wanted to mention. One, I used this recently in a video. This is from Undefined Beauty. This is their R&R Sun Serum, their broad spectrum SPF 50 tinted mineral sunscreen. So I mentioned this in a full face of using creators' favorites products. So my friend and also my creators and friends partner, Sibri, this is a favorite product of hers. Undefined Beauty was one of our sponsors for the creators and friends retreat that I hosted. So this was sent along in the goodie bag, but this is such a nice product. So I did use it in the video, so I can have it linked down below, but it provides a little bit of a tint. Like, it's not like a foundation, it's not gonna give you like a ton of coverage or anything like that, but it is also giving you some SPF protection, which I think is great. But it just kind of evens out the skin tone a little bit. It's also very glowy. It looks really pretty on the skin. And I also think even if I do use a lot of it, it's very quick to blend in, and it just kind of all over your face, and I'm not left like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? It doesn't pill on the skin, which I really enjoy. So this I've been using so much, especially if I'm running like to the pool and I'm doing a no makeup day. This is the perfect one to reach for. And then another sunscreen, this is from Elta MD. It's their UV Clear Broad Spectrum SPF 46 facial sunscreen. I just get these off of Amazon. This little one I actually just purchased from a local business in Vegas. We were just kind of walking around the strip mall. I saw it and I got in to purchase a little mini of this since I have run out of my bigger one. But this is a great one too. This one isn't tinted, so this is just kind of my regular every single morning. I go through my skincare routine, serums, moisturizer, and then my final step is I do an SPF and then I'll reapply throughout the day. That's when I'm doing something like this. And then if I'm going somewhere or like a first step in makeup, that's typically when I'm going for the Undefined Beauty. That gives me a little bit of that tint and a little bit of something before I even start my makeup. But this one I think is great. My friend Ashley, who I always say is like my biggest influencer in my life, she recommended this to me. She always has it at our pool, and I think that it's a great one, so I keep repurchasing these as well. And again, you can also get those off of Amazon. I do have to give a shout out to the Singe Beauty brushes. So my friend Anjelka Nyqvist did launch her own beauty brand, Singe Beauty, and her first launch was these 5 brushes. I did purchase them myself, supporting small business and my friend, but I love these. Like I said, I'm doing the 3 looks with the Natasha Denona Yucca palette, and you just keep seeing me use my brushes. I mentioned my Sigma Switch in my last favorites video, but I love this. I always have it next to me so I can just kind of spot clean as I go along, since I'm doing, you know, multiple looks with the one palette. But these are the ones that I keep reaching for. I love that we have, you know, kind of the bigger one in the center here. We have the smaller ones. I love the real like smaller kind of pencil-ish brush, but these are so soft. They're very easy to use. I've used them now in multiple palettes and I just keep reaching for them. I love the handles. I love the yellow. I'm super proud of Angie, so definitely wanted to mention these. My current go-to bronzer and blush, I'm a little bit surprised at, but these are what I keep reaching for, and it's actually the Mcgrath Bronzer. I didn't see that coming. And then Essence also released new blushes, and these are really beautiful. So I purchased the Mcgrath Bronzer from Sephora when these released. I have the shade Bronze Dawn, and when I first tried it, I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy it. I felt like maybe it was like a little bit too orange on me, and I wasn't sure it was blending the greatest, but I kept using it and I kept trying it out, and now it's actually been my go-to bronzer. Like I said, I always link out my makeup in my description box, and you just keep seeing the one from Mcgrath popping up. I have it on today. I think that it's pretty. I don't know. It's one of those that it's like, when I'm reviewing a product, I will have it out, but if I really don't want to wear it, I'll keep reaching for other products, and then I kind of know like, oh, I really don't love that one. But the Mcgrath, like every day I'm like, oh, I'll just use the Mcgrath again. I think that it looks pretty. So this one is a little bit surprising to me, but I'm wearing this pretty much every single day. And then I started trying the Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush, and I've been using the shade Rosy Rosewood. Again, for my Full Face of Creators favorite products, my friend Amanda, or Makeup Just for Fun, mentioned these blushes, and I think that they're beautiful. So again, this is what I have on today, and I think it's a very stunning blush. You don't need a lot of product. Like, you can go very light-handed with this blush, but I like it because I do feel like it blends so smoothly. Every time I put this on, you just all of a sudden get a really nice rosy flush to the cheeks, blends super smooth, and I think that it's beautiful. So this, I feel like in all my favorites videos, I always have either a lip duo or a bronzer and blush duo, and this one is my current go-to. I have to give a shout out to a fragrance, and this one is from Skylar, and it is their Fall Cashmere scent. I have heard so many other people talk about this scent. Again, I mentioned it in Full Face of Creators favorites. It was Lauren May Beauty's. I've also seen Kelly Gooch really love this one. I feel like if you, because when I typed in Kelly's name into YouTube so I could link her channel, I'm pretty sure one of the first searches was Kelly Gooch Skylar Cashmere, and I was like, that's really funny. So love that. I was able to work with Scentbird a few weeks ago, so that's why mine is in the Scentbird one like this, but if you open it up, you have like the little travel size in here. And the other night, where did I go? I went to a hockey game. I went to the Vegas Golden Knights Stanley Cup Game 1, and I was like, I want to bring a fragrance because what if I smell bad? I'm either always having like a deodorant or like a travel size fragrance in my purse, and this is the one. I just popped it out of the little case here and I took that with me to the game. But I really love this scent because I like scents that are a little bit on like that cozy kind of spicy side at the same time. And this one, I mean, it definitely gives me like fall vibes, but also just like kind of sexy spicy vibes at the same time. I want to wrap it up with a couple of books because I've been reading some really good ones recently, so I'll just run through these quickly. But I am also a book blogger, so I have all of my book reviews on my blog, chickletplus.com. But I just feel like I've been reading so many good ones recently, and especially rom-coms. So if you love some rom-coms, these are some good ones. So the first one was Mrs. Nash's Ashes, and this is by Sarah Adler. And I really liked this one because it was kind of that like quirky rom-com. Like the main character that we follow, whose name is Millie, she's just like a hoot. I don't know. She has like really funny inner thoughts, or like she says really kind of like out there things, and she kind of owns it. She's like, I know, like I am a weirdo, but like it is what it is. And her roommate was, you know, 80-some-year-old Mrs. Nash, who passed away. But she was telling Millie before she passed about how she had this first love of her life was another woman. Millie gets it in her mind that she wants to take 3 tablespoons of Mrs. Nash's ashes down to Key West from Washington, D.C., I believe it is. She wants to take them down to Key West to reunite Mrs. Nash with her former lover, and to let her know that, you know, she never stopped thinking about her or thinking about what their life could have been like if, you know, same-sex couples were more accepted in that time. And so as she's trying to get down there, her plane gets, you know, canceled, and she meets a guy at the airport who she kind of knows already through her ex-boyfriend. And he ends up offering to drive her down to Key West because he was heading in the same direction as well. I just thought this one was really cute. Like, obviously we have the romance between Millie and this Hollis that she meets at the airport, and he's like this very kind of standoffish guy, like kind of has a more like pessimistic view of the world. And then you have Millie, who isn't necessarily like sunshine and rainbows, but like kind of has like this bigger personality. And I was very intrigued on if they can actually make anything work. But you know, they get stuck in like a very eccentric town where there's like a broccoli parade. I mean, you know, obviously there's like all these funny things happening with them. There are a few steamy scenes in here also, which also seems to be like the theme for summer 2023 rom-coms. And then I just also really truly enjoyed the story of Mrs. Nash and her former lover, and just kind of what went into that relationship and why it didn't work out, and why these women never forgot about each other. And you kind of have this race against time because Mrs. Nash's ex is also in hospice care, and Millie's trying to get to her before she passes away to kind of share the story. So you also have this kind of like anticipation of, is she going to make it? Is she not? And I just thought it was a really cute book. Like, I definitely recommend this one. And then we have The Comeback Summer, and this is by Brady. I've read from Brady before, and it was another book about sisters. And so again, in this one, we follow Hannah and Libby, who live in Chicago, which I love. I'm from the Iowa. And I do love Chicago. I'm a Cubs fan. The current series that I am writing, The Six, is also based in Chicago, so I just kind of felt like a little pull for that. But the sisters run a PR agency that was started by their grandmother, who has now passed, and they're basically trying to keep it afloat. They don't have a lot of finance coming in. You can kind of see that maybe they don't work the best together. Like, they think that they do, and they think they have these strong points and these weaknesses, but maybe they need to look a little bit closer to figure out what actually is their strong suits and their weaknesses. But they have this kind of self-help guru, you know, in the age of social media. You have this Lou come in and, you know, wants to hire them for her services, but she challenges them to this crush your comfort zone program that she's kind of known for online, right? So the sisters decide to take her up on it. So Hannah is challenged to go on 12 first dates, and Libby is challenged to complete this kind of like obstacle course challenge. And the sisters are very different. You know, Hannah had a really terrible breakup that she has never really been able to get over. Libby is a little bit more overweight and not confident with her body. So that's kind of where they're given these particular challenges, but the sisters also want to help each other. So Hannah puts together a, you know, kind of like a plan for Libby with her fitness and diet and to like get her in good shape so she can complete this obstacle course. Libby decides to download the dating apps and talk on behalf of her sister and then just send her sister on the actual dates, but she's doing kind of like all of the legwork in the beginning. But it gets a little bit tricky when Libby ends up finding someone from the dating apps that she really likes, but he thinks he's talking to Hannah, and there's that whole situation. Hannah's ex, who she never got over, comes back into town, and then that's a whole situation. And then you also have this Lou who's always checking in on them and seeing how they're doing with their journaling and crushing their comfort zones. And there was a lot in here that I really enjoyed. I like reading books about sisters and, you know, just seeing how they each had to grow in their own area and how they did use something like a challenge to try to overcome some of their limitations or some of their weaknesses or just learn a little bit more about themselves. I was really curious because of course we have like a big fight scene between the two sisters, and I was wondering where it was going to go with the PR agency. To me it was kind of clear that they enjoyed their work, but I wasn't sure if either of them was like overjoyed, if they would want to continue it, if they would want to keep working, but they were also really set on continuing their grandmother's legacy. So I wasn't really sure how the book was going to end up. And I also kind of liked it because nothing seemed kind of straightforward to me. Even when it came to Hannah and her ex, I definitely had ideas of what I thought her ex was going to be like and what he was going to do, and I didn't really feel like it played out that way. And then with Libby and the guy she meets through the dating app, I definitely had ideas of how he was going to react to the situation of like, she's the sister who's been talking, and everyone kind of acted in ways that I didn't think were like par for course for your standard rom-com, and I like that. I like that more days in fiction we get not just a copy and paste from book to book, but we get real life scenarios and more relatable and raw characters, and that's what I really appreciate. That's how I feel like my style of writing is. And I really enjoyed this one as well. So that's The Comeback Summer by Brady. But after that, those are all of my favorites, current favorites. So I feel like I had a lot of variety in this video, but I hope you enjoyed hearing about some of my favorites. They will all be linked down below. Again, another thank you to Amiro Beauty for working with me on this video. If you're gonna check out their 4-in-1 RF facial tightening device, please do let me know. Again, it will be linked and the discount code is Samantha if you are interested in trying it out. I would love to know what you are loving so far in the month of June. And as always, if you enjoyed this one, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. It's been requested to see my dog Aries at the end of each video since she doesn't usually feel up to sitting behind my desk anymore these days. So this is Aries. She came to join us under the desk while I was filming. She's doing good. She's having a good day. She just had a really big dinner right before we started filming. And she just says thank you to everyone for the love and support right now. So that's where I film if you see my little bar stool over there. And here she was right here, just hanging out with us.